This is the last Tasmanian tiger to live in the wild. It was hunted in 1930 by Wilfred Batty at Wawbanna, Tasmania. However, years before the species was already extremely rare. Decades later and recently, there have been alleged sightings, although they could have been confused with other animals and have not been confirmed. At the beginning of the 20th century, there were Tasmanian tigers in some zoos around the world, such as Antwerp, Paris, and Berlin or New York, the last one dying outside Australia in London Zoo in 1931. Transporting the animals over these long distances was risky. The specimens, they could die on the journey or shortly after reaching their destination. This is a specimen in the Bronx Zoo in 1903, and this is a female in the London Zoo before 1915. In various zoos in Australia, you could see solitary specimens, or in groups, like this family photographed at Hobart Zoo in 1910. This is the last Tasmanian tiger alive in captivity, known as Benjamin, although it has not been confirmed that he was actually called that in life. He died at Hobart Zoo on the night of September 6, 1936. It is believed that his death occurred due to negligence, as he was exposed to Tasmania's extreme climate with sub-zero temperatures at night and very hot during the day. After his death, the zoo thought they could replace him, but it was too late. The action of the Tasmanian government, which officially protected the species 59 days before Benjamin's death, was also very slow and inefficient. The main cause of the extinction of the Tasmanian tiger was intensive hunting, which was also encouraged by monetary rewards. Other factors also played a role, such as competition from dingoes, human invasion of their habitat, and certain diseases. As you can see, the story of the extinction of the Tasmanian tiger is very sad, full of calamities and bad decisions, or lack thereof. However, it is a situation that continues to repeat itself today. Currently, there are more than 7,000 species in danger of extinction, and in many cases it continues to act slowly, or does not act at all, allowing the loss of habitat of the animals without forcefully punishing poaching or investing enough money for its protection. Why did the Tasmanian tiger become extinct? Approximately 2,000 years ago, the Tasmanian tiger became extinct throughout most of its range in Australia. Studies have shown that this first extinction, it was due to the growth of the human population and the abrupt change in climate during that period. In Tasmania, the species continued to live, but at the end of the 19th century, the first colonies were established in Tasmania, which generated the agricultural industry. From that point on, the lands were converted to crops and cleared for livestock. Tasmanian tigers were blamed for attacking sheep, cows, and other livestock such as chickens, which led to them offering a reward for hunting it in 1830. The Tasmanian government also participated in the rewards for hunting, offering £1 for each adult animal and 10 shillings for the young. Until 1909, these rewards were granted, and it is estimated that about 3,500 specimens were hunted in this period. Other factors that contributed to the decrease in its population were the introduction of dingoes that competed with Tasmanian tigers for food, diseases such as mange and loss of habitat. By the late 1920s, Tasmanian tigers were very rare, and in 1928, the Tasmanian Native Fauna Advisory Committee, it recommended creating a reserve similar to the national park to protect those who remained. In 1908, Wilson's Promontory had already recommended the reintroduction of specimens to places such as Victoria, southeast of Australia. The National Museum of Australia has an important collection related to this species, including the only complete wet specimen that survives. Also preserved are some skins, a skeleton and body parts, which were preserved by the Australian Institute of Anatomy. Possible sightings. Since the death of Benjamin, the last Tasmanian tiger, different sightings have been reported in nature, but they have never been able to confirm that it was indeed the species. Between 1967 and 1973, zoologist Jeremy Griffith and a farmer named James Malley dedicated themselves to intensively search for traces of Tasmanian tigers on the west coast of Tasmania, without finding evidence that they still existed. In 1982, the species was declared extinct by the International Union for Conservation of Nature, after 50 years without any confirmed sightings. Despite this, in 1985, 1995, and 1997, various encounters or sightings of tigers were reported, without any being confirmed. In 2005, German tourist Klaus Emmerichs claimed to have photographs of one that he had seen near Lake St. Clair National Park, although the authenticity of the material could not be proven. In 2017, James University organized a new search, placing more than 500 cameras in northern Queensland, after obtaining 2 testimonies from people who claimed to have seen specimens in previous decades. Throughout the decades following its extinction, various rewards were offered to anyone who managed to capture a live specimen, even though its capture had been illegal. Could the Tasmanian tiger have been saved? Theoretically, to save the Tasmanian tiger, more effective and timely measures could have been implemented, protecting their habitat and stop indiscriminate hunting. For example, the creation of larger and better protected nature reserves. In addition to the application of stricter conservation measures, such as the ban on hunting, and establish harsh sanctions for those who did not respect the measures.